Okay, so we're going to go over the questions that you all saw while taking the Unit 3 expressions test. We will go over each answer. Make sure that if there is one that you missed, that you are going back, redoing the answer and justifying your answer before you turn it into myself or Miss Lynch. So, number 1, ask which of the following is not an equation. So we could easily do a process of elimination. We know the difference between an expression and an equation is one simple thing. It is an equation has an equal sign, an expression does not. So if you look at B, C, and D, all of them have an equal sign. So the correct answer would be A. 4x squared. 4x squared does not have an equal sign. Number 2. Number 2 says, what symbol must go in the blank to make the following statement an equation? So again, like we said in number 1, the difference between an expression and an equation is that an equation has an equal sign. So we can do an easily process of elimination. A is a plus sign, so that will not work. B, that is a not equal sign. C is a greater than, less than sign. D is our only answer choice. So D is our correct answer. Okay, number 3 says 3 more than twice a number. So we go back and we look at our verbal expression, looking at our keywords. 3, of course, we know that that means the number 3. More than means plus. So we're adding 3 to a number. So can you look down at your 4 answer choices and just go ahead and eliminate the answer where we are not adding 3. So if I look down at C, look at C. C shows that we are multiplying times 3. That does not match our verbal expression, so we're going to go ahead and eliminate C. Okay? The next thing we look at is twice a number. So anytime you see twice, that means you're multiplying times 2. And we don't know what our number is, so we're just going to put in the variable n. Okay, so B will not work because we are dividing n by 2. Twice means you're multiplying, so we're going to take out B. Okay, also D will not work. The reason why D does not work is because in D we are adding our unknown number just to 3. Okay, but we're actually multiplying our number by 2 first. So in this one, you're only adding 3 to the number, so that will not work. And our correct answer is A. 2 times a number, or twice a number, more than 3. Or 3 more than 2 times a number. And if you'll remember in our lecture, we talked about more than being a turnaround word. That means whatever number you see before 3 would go behind your plus sign. Behind your plus sign. You have to flip your numbers around. Number 4 says, which could be used to find the number n? A number n divided by 6. So in this problem, we just really needed to focus on this section right here. Okay, n divided by 6. Okay, we're only dividing in this problem, so we know that A will not work and C won't work because they are multiplying. And remember, back in our lecture, we talked about anytime you see divided by, you look for the problem that has the variable and the number in the same order as it is written in our verbal expression. So the only one that will work, we have n first, the division sign, and then 6. B won't work because we have 6 first in this problem. So D is our correct answer. N divided by 6. Number 5. which best represents the number sentence shown? Okay, so if we look through our answer choices, you have to look at what operation is being done. We know we are adding and we know we are multiplying in this problem. And our answer is 48. So look through your answer choices. Okay, so A says the product of 8 and 4 times a number. So the product means you're multiplying. Are we multiplying 8 in this problem? No, we're only adding 8. So A will not work. Look at B. It says the difference of 8 and 4 times a number is 48. So difference. Difference means you are subtracting. If we look back at our number sentence, in this one we are adding 8, not subtracting 8. So B will not work as well. Okay? If we look at C, C says the sum of 8 and 4 times a number is 48. Sum means you are adding. So if we look at this number sentence again, we are adding 8 to 4 times a number. So C is our correct answer. D will not work because they're asking for the quotient. Quotient means you're dividing, and we are not dividing anything in this problem. So C is the correct answer. Number 6 says, which of the following represents 2 more than the product of 7 and a number? So the first thing we look at, we see more than. More than means we are adding, and that's also a turnaround word. So, and we have 2. So we can look at our answer choices and see and eliminate any one that we're not adding to. Well, we are not adding 2 in D, so that one can be eliminated. So we left with 3 answer choices. The next part says we're taking the product of 7 and a number. So anytime we see product, product means we're multiplying. What are we multiplying? 7 times that number that we don't know. So look in your answer choices. Is there any other answer choice that we can eliminate? Well, we can see right here in C that we are dividing a number by 7. That is not what our verbal sentence says, so we can go ahead and eliminate that. So now we're left with A and B. Now if you remember back in our lesson, we talked about the difference between these two. In A, you would be multiplying the sum of a number more than 2. But we don't want the sum, 7 times the sum of a number and 2. We're multiplying 7 times a number. So B is our correct choice because 7 is only being multiplied by that unknown number, and then we add on 2. A would not be correct. Number 7 says, which expression represents the phrase 1/3 of a number? So when you see the word of, that means you are multiplying, but don't let that confuse you. Let's work that out. So 1/3 times a number. Okay, we don't see that answer choice there. So we're going to make N a D this time so to match our answers. So looking at your answer choices, let's go ahead and eliminate what we're not multiplying. So we can easily take out B because that is subtracting a number, and D because that is also subtracting a number. So we're left with one that is being divided by and one that is being multiplied. Well, if we look at this, let's go ahead and simplify this problem. So if you take D times 1, that's going to leave us with D. And it's automatically assumed that when you have a letter by itself or a number by itself, it is over 1. That is still a whole number. I did not change the value of that number. So if we multiply 3 times 1, we are left with 3. So once we simplify 1/3 of a number, we are left with D divided by 3. That matches the answer choice A. Number 8 says, which best represents the expression shown? So, what operation is being done in this expression? We have multiplication, 4 times N, and we have subtraction, either less than or the difference of 6. So let's look at our answer choices, and let's be careful and look at how it is written. So A says the difference of 6 and a number is 4. Is means there should be an equal sign. Do we see an equal sign in this expression? No, that's why it's called an expression. It is not an equation. So A will definitely not work. B says 6 less than the product of a number and 4. Product means we're multiplying. What are we multiplying? We're multiplying a number, an unknown number, n in this case, and 4. Are we multiplying n and 4 in this problem? Yes, we are. So that will work. But let's look at the second part. It says 6 less than. Remember, less than is a turnaround word. That means whatever comes before that word less than should be at the end of your expression. So 6 should actually be behind 4 times a number. Is 6 behind 4 times a number? Yes, it is. So actually, B is our correct answer. Now let's look at C and D just to make sure we have it correct. So C says 6 less than. Again, we got that turnaround word again, so 6 should be in the back. But look at what the rest of the sentence says. It says the quotient of 4 and a number. Quotient means you're dividing. We are not dividing in this expression, so C will not work. Okay? D says 6 less the product of 4 and a number. Okay, it says 6 less. So because we don't have less than, 6 could actually stay in the front in this case. But that is not the way this expression is written. So D is also not the correct answer choice. B is your correct answer choice. Okay, number 9 says, which best represents the expression shown? So let's go through our answer choices. Okay, A says the quotient of a number and 5 decreased by 3. The quotient of a number and 5. Quotient means you're dividing. And when you see quotient in front, our first number that they mentioned should be on the top. Second number should be on the bottom. A number and 5. So we're taking the quotient, we're dividing. Decreased by 3. If we're decreasing it, we're subtracting by 3. So actually A is our correct answer, but let's go ahead and double check the others. 3 decreased by the quotient of a number and 5. Now I see why this one may confuse some, but remember decreased by is not a turnaround word. So with it written the way it is, 3 decreased by, 3 should be in front, decreased by the quotient of number and a number and 5. And remember, you can't just flip around any number that is being subtracted because this is not like the commutative property. So B is not correct because decreased by is not a turnaround word. And 3 would have to go in front. And it's not the case in this expression. C says 3 decreased by the product of number and 5. So we have 2 problems here. Decreased by, again, is not a turnaround word. So 3 would have to be in the front, and it's asking for the product. Product means you're multiplying. So C is not correct. And D, the product. Well, product means we are multiplying, so we don't even have to read this answer choice anymore because nothing is being multiplied in this expression. So 10 asks, evaluate the expression for the given values 4 times A plus 2 divided by 2 when A equals -10. So step 1 when we are evaluating the expression is we have to rewrite our problem and substitute our variable for our known number. So I'm going to substitute A for -10 and I'm just going to rewrite my problem. Okay, then the next thing you're going to do is make sure you go through gems to solve. So according to gems, we take care of our grouping symbols where our division is our grouping symbol. In order to get rid of that, we have to do what's on the top first. So after gems, we have exponents. There are no exponents there. Then we have multiplication and division. Well, 4 and -10 should be multiplied. So 4 times negative 10 is negative 40.